All right. Welcome to working in 16 gauge wire video 2. And here we're going to see I'm using 16 gauge and I'm cutting shorts. These are called shorts, which is about 2.5, something like that, inches long, like that. They're just long enough that, of course, my cut is consistent. My flush is always on the same side, so that I know that the right side of every wire will be a flush cut, and the left side of every wire will be a raw cut, sharp cut. Flush on the right, sharp on the left, and they're all pretty much the same. I don't measure them, I just kind of eyeball them, and they all come out about the same. Eventually you'll do that where it happens for you like that. You just have to give yourself an opportunity to let everything kind of smooth out, because the longer you are around doing something, the more things tend to smooth out. That's why you want to have a good handle on your prior lives as well. Past lives help you to kind of smooth out the present. Make it work. Now here we have all the right side or flush cut. The flush cut is the side that I'm going to bend. I just move it like that. I coax it. I don't actually grab the wire, and then I pull it like this till it gets there. It's hard to explain, but eventually you will get it. You pull it like this, makes a nice round thing till it gets right to there. Then you're going to just cut like this, kind of hold it gently like this and pull it like this. Then you're going to move this into place. Don't jiggle it around. Don't be jiggling around, because if you jiggle it around, what will happen, guaranteed, is you're going to score the metal. So this is the way to keep the metal from being scored up like that. Wrong way. There we go. Good. So now I'm going to make enough of these to cover these guys here. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I have 12 intermediate links that I'm lacking. I have some already here. I need 12 more here. I have 20 primary links here that are made pretty simply. These are just about as simple as you can get them. And so I need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, I work very fast, but I've been doing this for an awfully long time. So, of course, I work fast. Here. Cut that. Imagine what this is like at a fair, and you got to keep your concentration really solid onto this stuff. You can't let yourself get distracted by all the noises and crowds and all the distractions that happen at a fair. At the same time, you have to conduct business and you have to make product. It's quite a little juggling scene that you have to engage in there. So, it's slightly inefficient in that you have to grab a different tool. You pick the stuff up. You do this with this tool, Then you drop that in there. Then you drop that tool and pick this tool up and do this with it here. That's important. The rhythm of that is very important. Getting this right so that when the curve happens right in this thing, when you get the loop right, then everything works and the flow happens. And if it doesn't go completely right, then the flow kind of gets interrupted, stopped, changed, altered, bunged up, as it were. So, keeping the flow is very important. Yeah, if you're waiting for some major change to happen in your consciousness, you can't just, well, you can sit around, but you can provoke it. And this is one way to do that. So you want the waking state? You'll get it, all right, but you have to provoke it if you want to see it more often than occasionally. And as I said before, the nice thing about this, you're not working with those big goggles, because that does take away your ability to manage your booth at the same time that you're working on jewelry or on pieces, altar pieces from jewelry. So that's a big advantage working in 16 gauge. You don't have to wear that snoot. Another advantage is you can fix things that you screw up. If you happen to louse up and put something together with, here's the way I'm building this now, starting to build. I took an intermediate link and I opened it up. Now I'm going to take the primary link, again, open it to the side, put in save that for a closing link, and then you're always opening the top link in your hand. The top link. There's the next link. Here's the top link. And you open it. Make sure that you're opening it the right way. Make sure you put the right element in there, because you can get double elements in the thing. And of course, if you do, it's okay. You just take it apart and put the right thing in there. But then when you do that, of course, you score the metal just a little bit more than it would have been if you hadn't had that mistake in there, hadn't had that error. So it's kind of nice when you don't make mistakes, but it's doubly nice that when you do make them, they're rectifiable. This goes the other way. I have a consistency which I show later on when you're in an advanced condition. I will show you a consistency secret about linking. I'm exercising it now, so you're noticing there's something unusual about what I'm doing there. I do try it this way and put it that way and so forth. That's very subtle, and we'll get to the subtleties, but let's just get you making these at all. Just at all. And I'd love to have you able to make things like this that don't cost you an arm and a leg, but that will sell for very good money. That's kind of like armor, isn't it? vitamin D2. We're often quite surprised at how well armor sells, how valuable it turns out to be. Well, this is a form of armor. It's a mala, and it's a very powerful spiritual tool, and it is a form of armor. And there are... Yeah, that's right. Knowing exactly how to make this work is a matter of time. And the one thing you may not have is patience. So you'll have to wait for my patience workshop. It is imminent. It always is. I was just about to have the patience workshop. Somehow it never works out. It is about patience. It is about how you work, not what you do, but how you do it. And especially how you treat others when you're doing it. That's important. Yeah, the kinder you are, the more powerful your malas will be. It's not a reward for kindness. It's just that those states and conditions do obtain. They readily obtain. Now this is... I had a little bit of an offness there in my loop. So I took the opportunity to fix it before I went too much further. And the whole idea is to guide these things toward their good closures and all that. That's really an elegant way to do it. You'll see what I mean when you start to get some experience. That you don't force this stuff. What you do is you guide it. The copper is very fluid and will allow you to guide it if you are consistent and not too forceful. You can't be too forceful. It doesn't like that. Take the other end of this, which has a, hang on, first of all, straighten it out to get it all nice. Then put it on there, otherwise it'll be twisted when you put this in. Real fast, find a link in there, there you go. And that's ready to go. Okay. It goes on like that. Could be a little bit longer, and I think what I can do. See, this is where I can demonstrate to you. I decided to make it longer. Okay. So I will open it up here. So I'll open this and put on one more of the, well, actually I should do, before I do that, I will make my links, otherwise I won't have those there. So this, I need 3 more of these. Suddenly 3 more. And this really does illustrate how you can adjust things for people. I don't like it that long. I want it a little shorter. Okay, fine, no problem. Here it is. It's a little shorter one. Well, you know what? That one's too short for me. Oh, I can just lengthen it for you. Here you go. So you can do all this, provided you have the beads on hand. You need to actually have the beads handy, of course. But if you do, then you're good to go. And you can do all kinds of repair work and all kinds of different things with this stuff. Your hands do get experience, and they get used to the stuff and so on. But you have to be consistent. Otherwise, if things are always in a different place, your hands don't know where the hell to go find that thing, whatever it is. It doesn't know where to look, where to grope. So you do have to have a lot of consistency there. All right, here's a primary bead. I'm going to put in an intermediate bead here. Open up my intermediate bead. Make sure it's the right side, because if you don't, you try to open the other side, it doesn't open because it's not cut. This side here is an open side. You see what I mean? Of the loop. If you try to open the wrong side, you'll be defeated. You won't know why. You'll have no idea what's going on there. And here you can afford to leave your tool in your hand. As you work upward, you leave your tool there in your hand. In this case, your pliers. See, because when you're making these elements, of course, you have to switch constantly. But this way, you don't. Now you don't. Now this one here. Oh my, all right, hang on a second. Take this guy off. Put him over there. I have a prime element on one end. There's a prime element here. And I have an intermediate here. I'm going to take this open side here. Hold it up like that, stretch it out, turn it so it's correct. Only then do you link it and close it. Don't close it until you've got it all worked out there. So there it is. And this is now the correct length. Let's double check ourselves and see that it's right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 20 beads, there they go. And that's a pretty hot mala. And this is so thin it can be worn underneath a shirt or a blouse or a top, so nobody will know you have it on. And it goes in the mala box. and I go on break.